Hi, Randy Ora with Berkshire Hathaway and the Ora Group here in Laguna Niguel. A lot of people ask, what does $2 million buy in the city of Laguna Niguel? I'm going to show you 3 different homes in 3 different neighborhoods, all very different, that all recently sold for about $2 million. Let's jump in my car and go take a look. So we are headed to our first neighborhood known as Summerwalk. We're traveling towards the coast on Golden Lantern, which is one of the main corridors from Crown Valley Parkway to the coast. I'm making a left on St. Christopher into the community of Summerwalk. This community is great for, I would say, younger families and not first-time home buyers necessarily, but you'll see in the community there are lots of homes that look like kids live there. In other words, basketball hoops out in the front of the street, lots of play equipment. It's not unusual for after school hours for kids to be out playing in the street. It's a great neighborhood. So what makes this community very affordable is when the builder built Summerwalk, they built these homes with what we call 0 lot lines. 0 lot lines are whereby the homes only have access to one side of the property and your exterior wall on the other side is the yard, if you will, to the other homeowner. So a little hard to explain. I could show you better than I could tell you, but nonetheless, these homes are 0 lot line. A lot of pride of ownership in the community. It drives very, very, very nice. I'm going to actually take you to a home that I recently sold. Ironically, all 3 homes that I'm going to be showing you today, all 3 homes I represented the buyers, all buying right around $2 million. And ironically too, all from YouTube. So if you're watching this video and you're considering buying, all 3 of my most recent buyers were people that found me on YouTube, connected with me, and I was able to help all 3, all in about the last 3 to 4 weeks. So been very, very active with buyers in the Laguna Niguel area, seeming to all cluster right around our average sales price, which is just under $2 million, but these homes are right in that pocket of just under $2 million. The first home I'm going to show you is on Salt Spray. The couple that bought this, it's their first home. They were fortunate to have a good sized down payment. We were involved in a multiple offer, but I'm going to take you to in front of the home and show you a little bit about what this home looks like and give you a little bit more detail now that we've looked at the community. So the home that you see right in back of me, I recently sold to a young couple with 1 child, and it's their first home purchase. They were fortunate enough to save a good chunk of down payment and purchase the home in back of me. Homes in the neighborhood range from about $1.7 million to just under $2 million. The home that I sold in back of me was 2,286 square feet, pencils out to about $842 per foot. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath floor plan. Very, very nice inside, highly upgraded. It was a great purchase. We were involved in a multiple offer. We paid about $125,000 over asking. The list price was $1.8 million. We ended up paying $1,925,000, but it was consistent with what the values are in the neighborhood. It just attracted a lot of buyers. So this is a great example of what a $2 million home would buy in this neighborhood of Summerwalk. So we are traveling on Camino de la Avion, and Camino de la Avion is the street that separates Laguna Niguel on my right and the more coastal city, which is Dana Point. I'm going to be entering into this community of Niguel Coast, or Sea Call, off of a street called Barkentine. This is one of the main entrances. There are 2, one on Niguel Road and one on Camino de la Avion. This neighborhood is quite different from the last neighborhood and thus dictates many times a different buyer. And my job is to understand what a buyer's needs and wants are and maybe pair the buyer and the communities. So I'm going to be driving through the community, giving you a little bit of an idea of what the drive is like. There is a community pool. unlike Summerwalk. In Summerwalk, the last community we were in, there's an association with low association dues, but there is no community pool, there's no clubhouse, no other amenities other than the HOA that manages and just keeps peace in the neighborhood, basically. So the pool here is on the left-hand side. We're going to continue driving through the community. Homes in this community are a little bit more expensive on average than the homes that are in Summerwalk. Summerwalk would be a little bit more affordable. One of the reasons is that zero lot line that I mentioned. Homes in this community are not zero lot lines. All the homes here are single family residents with property, in other words, lot access on both sides of the structure. So you have two sides, a side yard and a backyard. And the homes in this community range from about 2,000 square feet to about 2,800 square feet. The largest here being a little bit larger than Summerwalk, and the smallest here being a little bit smaller than the ones in Summerwalk. The smallest floor plan here is about 2,000 square feet, 3 bedrooms and 4 bedrooms throughout the community. The home that I'm going to show you, again, we were involved with a multiple offer situation. Both of these communities are very high demand, but for different reasons. So the couple that purchased in this neighborhood, a little bit different. So my age, more or less, and again, the couple that I sold the home in Summerwalk, younger, my kids' age, if you will, with their first child. And my clients here expressed desire to be in a neighborhood where maybe there aren't so many children in the community, and as you drive down the streets here, you don't see very many basketball hoops like you do in the Summerwalk community. So just a little bit different profile of a home buyer in this community here. Both communities, again, are very high in demand. The list price of this property was $1,478,000, and we paid full price $1,478,000. I was actually able to present the offer the day before this property became active on the market, and the seller was gracious enough to accept our offer before the first weekend of open house, which is a little unusual. The strategy typically is let it go through the first weekend of an open house, see how many offers you get. My belief is this home probably would have gathered multiple offers, but the sellers were anxious to look at our offer. We did offer full price. It was cash close in 3 weeks, no, cash close in 2 weeks. So that's attractive to a seller. Possibly that appeal was the factor that made us acceptable even before it went on the market. So the home that you see pictured here on Dory in the Barkentine community was 2,014 square feet. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath floor plan, and it did close at $867 per foot. A little bit more expensive than the home in Summerwalk that closed at $842 per foot. So we did pay for this home $1,748,000. The floor plan is unique. There are 2 bedrooms, 2 secondary bedrooms upstairs, and the master or the main bedroom is on the lower level, the ground floor. So very unique floor plan, but perfect for my buyer's needs. They have no young children. They'll probably make one of the rooms upstairs an office. My guess is maybe the other one a TV or recreation room of some sort, sitting area. This home was on the market just today. We presented our offer, was full price, $1,748,000. We offered cash, close in 2 weeks, and the seller actually took the offer the day before the first open house. Typically, we use the first open house to attract a lot of buyers. It would have probably been a multiple offer situation, but we were able to get this home at list price with an all-cash offer, close in 2 weeks. So very attractive to the seller. They jumped on our offer, and I was able to get this YouTube buyer this house. So we just turned off of Crown Valley Parkway into a community known as Niguel West. This is a very unique community, and my buyers for this particular home that I sold were a perfect fit for this community. They shared with me that they did not want a cookie cutter type home. This community is definitely not cookie cutter. And when I say cookie cutter, it's just a community that represents the overall complexion of the city. So the homes in this community are very, very different from the homes in the majority of our city of Laguna Niguel. Our city is known for the Mediterranean look, the pink stucco, red tile roofs, very Mediterranean, lots of palm trees, although there are some palm trees here. But there was an architect very popular in the 60s and 70s. His name was George Bissell. He built and designed many commercial properties in the South Orange County area. He decided to partner with a builder, and they built about 50 some odd homes in this community known as Niguel West. They are the only 50 homes in the entire city that you could describe as mid-century modern, again built in the very late 60s, mid to late 60s. The community drives very different from the rest of the communities in the city. There is a mix of both his designs and the more traditional homes, but even the traditional homes don't have the pink stucco and the red tile roofs. They're more Cape Cod, a little bit New England influence, but the 50 that are in this community are highly sought after. When one comes on the market, it typically attracts multiple offers. I did represent a seller about 2 or 3 years ago. We actually harnessed 7 offers, and it sold for $160,000 over asking price. And we were not shy with our asking price, but yet it commanded such attention that we got multiple offers and it pushed the value up. The home that I'm going to show you in just a moment, we were fortunate enough to make an offer and only have one other competitor the first day that it came on the market. We paid slightly over asking price, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it when we get in front of the home, but it is one of those 50 that were designed by George Bissell in the mid-60s. And homes in this community are very, very different from the rest of Laguna Niguel. It takes a special buyer, and I thought this was the right home for my buyer. They came from out of the area. They drove to see one home and one home only. They fell in love. We made an offer, and we were very fortunate to get this home. So let's take a little bit closer look. So the home that you see in back of me is the home that I just sold to a YouTube buyer that connected with me. They actually had an unfortunate experience with a prior agent. They had been watching me for quite some time on YouTube, but called on a particular home, and that agent connected with them. They made a couple offers, and unfortunately the offers just didn't work out. Out of frustration, they remembered that they saw me on YouTube. They gave me a call, and I showed them one house, the house in back of me. We made an offer and we were able to get it. So thank you for your trust. The home in back of me is only 1,650 square feet. So it's perfect for them because they do not have any young children. They wanted a place that was not a cookie cutter home for their stage in life. This was perfect. The home again is 1,650 square feet, just 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. It's that mid-century modern design by George Bissell, and it sold for a whopping $1,330 a foot. Now you may say to yourself, well, that's almost double the dollar per square foot of the other homes, and yes, it's true. But these homes are extremely rare. When they come on the market, they do typically command that kind of a price. So the home next door, this home here, sold for a record price of $3 million. The home that I sold my buyers sold for $2,205,000, and again, $1,330 per square foot. But a very unique home for the buyer that seeks this type of a property. This is the going rate. But you'll see that 3 different neighborhoods, 3 very different types of homes for 3 very different types of buyers, giving you a great idea of what does $2 million buy in Laguna Niguel. If I can help you with your buyer need, please reach out. I'd love to help you with your real estate. I'm good at figuring out what homes and what communities work for certain buyers, and I love doing what I do. So reach out. My information's on the screen. Randy Ora with Berkshire Hathaway, changing lives. one home at a time.